Hello and welcome back to OG Fantasy Football. It's crunch time. We're going into week 16, the Sweet 16. The cream is rising to the top, and the losers are gone. You're done. You're shining up your golf clubs. Not us. 3 more weeks, and we got a dog fight right now for 4th place. Me and Johnny are just going back and forth. You overtook me, Johnny. We're still in this. Let's go.
We are hanging by a thread. 4 points separate the two of us. We could always do a side bet to liven things up.
Oh, I like side. I like side bets. I like
Oh,
side
I know.
dishes. I like side pieces. I like side bets. Let's
And
do
you
this.
like all sorts of bets.
Oh my God. And still increasing his lead to now 16 points. Here comes Debo. He is still in first place. Omaha Steaks, my brother, Tom Dunkelman, who I will see in just a few scant days as he makes the trek out west for the Buffalo Bills Chargers game.
Are
Cannot
you
wait.
going?
I am going. We don't have tickets yet, but Tom's going. Kenny Way of the Ass Kickers is coming with his 2 sons, and there is
Susie
rumored
going?
Susie is coming. My sister-in-law, sweet Susie, is coming, and rumored 90% sure Donnie Doodles Roberts and his boy.
What?
Oh, it's going to be a mini reunion. Get out here, Johnny. I know you don't have power and it's freezing cold. Come out to California. We'll go swimming. Ooh, it is the best time of the year, baby. I am only 119 points out. But, Johnny, the bad news is we were sniffing third because we know we weren't sure last year, but it pays money. And I don't want to pay that $300 entry fee. I don't know if you've paid yours yet. I wait until the season's over. That's the way I roll. I do what Lumpy Kears does. If I did what Lumpy Kears does, I wouldn't pay before the day before the draft. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Lump. There ain't going to be no money for you. 218 out, but some young guy storming back. Johnny, what do you have? 13 points. He's been just dropping like a dead weight. And this week he takes the $50 with 80 points to crank back up to 3rd place. He's only 71 points behind. Unfortunately, that makes you, what's that, 37 points behind him. And I got 11 points behind you.
Yeah.
Check our math. You said 4. I got all excited.
No, my eyes aren't good.
Nothing's good at this age, Johnny. It's just the slow slide, and the slow slide's getting a lot faster.
The beer is still good.
The beer is good, and the White Claw Surge, because it's a school night. We know it flows like wine in this household. Johnny, the way I look at it, I am, quick math, I am just under 50 points out of the money. I can make up that ground. I did not have a bad week, but boy, we had very good scoring. Maybe overall, we'll have to look at this. We'll analyze it. If this was the most points scored overall by everybody in our league, a lot of action in the NFL this week. Let's start out, take a look at some young guy's week, because he was really, really floundering, and he finally got back on track, and this is the time of year to do it. Oh, my God. Well, on the strength of Joe Flacco, you gotta be shitting me. He has the balls. He has the balls to bench Tua, who has not been putting up huge points. He only had 12, but Joe Flacco, in a gut-wrenching loss for us Buffalo Bills fans, that guy. I mean, what do you want? 18 points from Flacco, by the way. A bomb, a 51-yarder for 12, and a chippy 2-pointer for 6 points. But my God, Johnny, I don't know if you saw that Chicago Bear, he had the ball in his hands, and he kicked it out. Kicked it out with his own foot.
I saw it.
Unbelievable. That's okay. We got some help.
And let's talk about the Houston-Tennessee game after that.
Those are the 2 that did not go our way. But we had a couple too. We raised, I do believe, 2 slots in the standings right now. I'm feeling very good. But you don't have to look much further to see why he had 80 points. Christian McCaffrey and the Beaver Brown Band are jamming, and they are jamming strong. 42 fucking points, Johnny. Good.
He outscored Galley by
Moogly.
Outscored Galley by 20.
Just one guy. Good Lord. Don't let anybody tell you that draft position doesn't mean anything in this league, because he had a coveted 24-point on a play. He caught it, fell down. Nobody was, why be around that
Oh,
guy?
yeah,
Why be
yeah,
anywhere
right.
near him? 41-yard receiving touchdown, 5-yard receiving touchdown. That's another 12 plus a 6-pointer. Wow, that's a lot of points. John Connell, he had 6 points. Rashid Rice, 6. He's Asian, right? Zay Flowers
Hmm.
sent to a girl with sentimental ways, 0. AJ Brown, thank God, because this could have been a lot worse for us. He did not
Oh,
score on
yeah.
Monday night. And then Hopkins, he picks up the number 1 kicker in our league that was just laying there for 8 points. Congratulations, some young guy. We got an all Dunkleman first 3 right now with my brother, my cousin, and I guess my cousin and my nephew. I'm going to bump one of them off, Johnny. Your brother from another mother, God bless her. Let's get back up there. Um, Boy, that's a good time of the year to have 80 points.
It
Let's give a
sure
little
is.
love to Stanley and the Deadheads because as we just were
Stanley.
looking before we pressed record, he was leading after week 1. Just another here's an interesting question. Is Brock Purdy a first round pick in our league next year? Because he's playing like one. That's 36 points. Just another
Yeah.
30 burger from Brock Purdy. You got
He's
to be,
probably going to be the NFL MVP, which will
he
give him
really
a
should.
bump in the, well, yeah, except for the other guy on the team who really should also.
As he should also. And
McCaffrey.
I still got to know a guy in Buffalo who should get a little consideration too. And then
Hmm.
he makes that stupid trade, he gives my brother Bijan and he gives him Ayuk for McKinnon and Devontae Adams. He finally starts McKinnon and good for you because he had 24 points. He passed one. Am I seeing that right? He had a passing touchdown and a
He,
receiving touchdown. They're both
he,
out of position. That's double points,
he
24.
threw two. He threw two, didn't he? Or
I'm
somebody,
seeing he caught one and he threw
no,
one.
but I mean, somebody threw two passes out of position. I think
Oh,
it was
really?
McKinnon.
Maybe it was Clyde? Did Clyde throw one? That's ridiculous. So that's the thing about Jerick McKinnon. He's kind of like a Taysom Hill. You just got to start him every week or get real lucky with guessing because you don't want to leave that many points on the bench. Gus Edwards, who I traded for, I traded to Gus Edwards, as we call him, like a handful of beads that I got for Barkley, 6-pointer. He's still alive.
Speaking of on the bench, I mean, I had this guy 2 years ago. He was amazing. How do you put Adams on the bench?
I have no idea. Why do you trade away
What?
2 quality players to my brother who is solidifying his late season push? Let's put it that way.
Let's
Solidifying it.
start Evan Ingram and leave Devontae on the bench.
What
That's
is his
sensible.
what is his obsession with tight ends? He's got Ingram and Kittle. I see Kittle as a boomer bust, but he benches Kelsey. Probably a good idea
Hmm.
because as you asked, who did the Chiefs get in that trade for Tyreek Hill? And I said
And
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
It's not a good trade. Not working out for the
No.
Chiefs. Showing some chinks in the armor. That's not racist.
Mm,
Devontae, how about Devontae Adams having 6 points when the Vegas Raiders have 63? They didn't score. What is wrong? What is going on with this league? NFL is absolutely insane. If they put up 63 on the Chargers,
yeah, wait.
how do you think the Bills are going to do?
They're
Although,
looking at that tape.
be careful playing any team that just fired their coach, though. We all know that from experience, but I think we're going to be fine. I think the Chargers are packing it in. I'm just told, I know the ticket prices are dropping by the day. That's why we haven't bought them yet, but we'll get there.
Nice.
So nice week, Stanley. Oh, it's the third best week. It's our good friend, the Shit Suckers. Johnny, take us through
Hey,
your very sweet 72-point week.
great week. I was 1 9 pointer from Swift, and I win the week. But
I know
no,
it. I was rooting for
no.
you.
So I benched Mahomes and picked up Stafford. He was the start of the week according to CBS, and that paid off. 21 points. Although I should have pulled the trigger on what's his name, Baker
Baker.
Mayfield.
Baker's had two
Yeah,
30
but
burgers in a row.
and then I was blanked by Swift and Harris, but White comes through again, second week in a row with an 18
Again.
point play.
What a great
Loving
year.
it, loving it. And Reed for Green Bay with another touchdown. I sat him last week and missed his points, but I got him this week for 9. Cooper Kupp 3 weeks in a row with a touchdown, 2 weeks in a row with a 100-yard game.
That's
My
right.
first round draft pick finally paying off. 12 points with a
Fantastic.
bomb. And then Sanders from Miami with a sweet 12 points.
Another
Left me with
solid week.
72, and I left nothing on the bench except Patrick Mahomes.
And where you belong on the bench, grabbing some fucking pine patty. Oh, Patty Pine. That's your new name. Patty Pine. Oh my God. You know what, Johnny? Just for shits and giggles, I know a lot of people here are entering maybe their second week of the playoffs. I'm in only one other league.
The
That's with the holiday.
semifinals for
It's
many.
semifinals, and the Cart Boy, the Holiday Valley Cart Boy League, which they were kind enough to invite me to join about 7 years ago. Love this league, but it's the only head-to-head traditional scoring league that I play in. John, I just want to take a look at this lineup I've got. I've got Josh Allen, Cooper
Oh,
Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Gibbs, Williams, Kyron Williams, Hawkinson is my tight end, and I got A-Chain as my flex. What a team. I think I'm
wow.
cruising. I think I'm going to be $250 richer in 2 weeks. What a stacked team that is. And this is a keeper league. Who do I keep? Justin Jefferson was my keeper, but I think I want Joshy. I know you don't keep a quarterback in these leagues. I don't give a shit. I like Josh Allen, damn it. And as he said, he feels like the kid that did no work and still got an A on the project. That's what we want you to do. We know you can jump over people. We don't need you to. Oh, what a great game. How much have we been
let
calling for? Run the
let
ball.
James cook.
Let James cook. I think he is who we thought he was. Not since Thurman Thomas have I been this excited about a running back, and we loved having LaShawn McCoy, but this is a rookie and not even
Um,
close to his prime, still
second
learning.
second year.
That's right. Good correction. Second year, first year starter. And we wish Singletary well. He's doing very well over there in Hewtown. Anybody else you want to
I'm
take a look
never a
at?
fan, never a fan of the mid-season coaching change, but
Boy, it
I
worked.
tell you what, Sean did it.
Well, we needed
Got
to
it
do
right.
that, and with people in the Western New York area, that look, they're not all the sharpest tools in the shed, but when they're calling for Sean's job and just to hear all the love that the players have for him, I think that guy's a really solid human being, and I don't think it's the kind of guy that you let go of just because he makes a few mistakes. It's a big change for him
And
this year, and
he's a great coach.
he is a great coach, and he seems like an even better man from what you hear from the players, and that's the most important is what the spirit is in the locker room and their relationship and how they feel about the front office. And ain't nobody looking forward to us making the playoffs. I'll tell you that right now. And to all you writers that I read you, they're unequivocally not making the playoffs. That's because you were
Yeah,
convinced we wouldn't beat the Chiefs and we wouldn't beat the Cowboys. So you know what? Sit and spin on both of them because nobody, and I mean nobody, circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. We are going to win out. I'm going to watch the next victory, and then we're going to take the AFC East. You know why, Johnny? Because the Miami Dolphins, who have not beaten anybody, they've not beaten anybody. Go ahead and check their schedule.
we
But
might. I
they
don't know why. Why did
just had
balloons just go?
balloons. So how'd you
What
do
was
that?
that?
How
I
did you
don't
get
know.
that
It's
shit?
magic.
Oh my God, look at that. That's gonna make
But
the
that the
highlight reel.
two, the reason for the two, we win out and win the East, we might be the 2 seed.
We could absolutely be the 2 seed because the Miami Dolphins, as I said, they haven't beaten anybody decent all year. Their next 3 games are the Cowboys. Think they're going to be a little pissed off? They should be very, very embarrassed by that beat down that we put on them. And then, Johnny, they play Baltimore. Everybody's
I
talking
know.
about the Bills' brutal schedule. Well, guess what? We're through the worst of it. And
Yes, we are.
we could have beaten the Eagles. There's a bad call any game. You can go to any game this year. You can bitch about refereeing. We've been on both sides of it. Oh, Kansas City, I drink your tears. I
Oh,
drink them all up. Keep them coming. Let's talk. Speaking of tears, how do you have 51 points and you lose ground? You're not happy, but that's what you did last week. Didn't you have about 50? And it's just not enough at this
last
time of the year.
me
Yeah,
last week
what'd
I
you do?
had 33.
You had, I think,
Bad,
50s last
bad.
week, 2 weeks before. But look, let's focus on the bright side. I made a gut call at quarterback because I got Kyler Murray and I had him playing at home, but he was going against the 49ers. And God, the 49ers look phenomenal. Now, Arizona put up 29 points, but Murray only ended up with 6. I started sexual chocolate. Oh,
Mm,
Russell. James ain't the only
So
one cooking. Russell is cooking 18 points. Look at how excited I am for a measly 18 points when Brock Purdy wipes his ass with 18 points. Brock Purdy doesn't get out of bed
he
for
lights
18
18
points.
points on fire.
Unbelievable. Hey, speaking of sweet, moosed it with two more touchdowns. God, oh, the spoils of that trade and the guy that you
Oh
got,
yeah.
you benched. Oh, I love it. I love it, Flash. Kyron Williams with an 8-pointer. I didn't even see the 2-point conversion, so that was a little bonus for me when I checked my scores because I saw him. I saw him hit the 6-pointer. Was hoping for more against Washington. They've been terrible this year. Mike Evans just keeps on churning. Another
Yes, he
9 points,
does.
and he is at 96 for the year, almost a shoe in
Yes,
for the
sir.
coveted 100. Oh man, Taysom Hill. I don't know what to think, man. But this is not the time of year you give him one carry. Figure it out, fellas. You going to use him or not? It really, Juwan Johnson being in the lineup is going to take him completely out of the game plan. We'll see, because that's going to be a sweet Thursday night game for me. I don't care if there's a Cub Scout meeting. There ain't one for me. This is football. I love my son, but look, this ain't no Sophie's choice. I'm watching football. It's den leaders from Canada. I'm like, listen, man, I know you're from a foreign country, but here in my country, men watch football on Thursday night. We don't do the oath. And you know what, Johnny? I am thrilled to death that Aubrey only had 4 points because that's his
Oh,
lowest of the season. He still has not missed a field goal. But
time for you to play some kicker roulette.
you know, at the end of that game, Johnny, I said, would it be the worst thing in the world for to get a pick six for 12 points and we still win, but only by 14? Look, I'm not going to be greedy, but I'm not going to change my guys now. I'm sticking with them. 4 points combined, and Aubrey and the Cowboys have been so good to me. Good news is, I guess the mixed news, I didn't have any points on the bench, but Derrick Henry, who last year, Johnny, I think he had a combined 300 or 400 yards against Houston, 3 touchdowns. I think he touched the ball 20 times and didn't gain more than 10 yards. That is baffling. So I'm happy that I didn't make any mistakes because I started Barkley over him. We'll see what happens. But John, with my starting lineup now, I'm going back to Kyler Murray, Barkley, Mostert, Williams, Evans, Hill. All of those players are capable of scoring 30 points. All of them.
Just want to say for your consideration that now that Tennessee is officially eliminated,
Yeah.
they may want to test the tires on Spears a little
Yes, they
more
may. So who would
going
you
in.
drop? Who would you not start if you were me? Barkley?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just something about
Probably.
when you trade for a guy in the first game, he has 30 points. It's pretty hard. It's
I
pretty
know.
hard to bench him.
And then they scored 6 points last week.
Yes,
Six.
that's
They're a
right.
terrible, terrible team.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But then again, Barkley had 2 touchdowns last week. I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna stick with my guys, and I'm gonna hope and pray for a third place finish. I was doing some math. What's the record? I do believe, and I'm gonna have to look at the record is either 134 or 143. And the crazy part is,
For
I had that
for
on the
what?
final week for our league.
For the week.
One
Yeah.
week, the highest was either the 134 or 143. I remember it. And it was the crazy thing. It was that batshit nuts final game, the 17th week of the season back then. And I had Drew Brees, and Jeff Golly was breathing down my neck with Rodgers because those two went crazy that year. And I took the trophy on the strength of that unbelievable monster week. So I could still have one of those. You could, I don't know if you could have one of those, but of course you
Sure.
could. Of course you could. Look at these guys dropping 40 burgers. There's been a few 40 burgers this year. It's definitely possible. Let's give some love to Jeff Golly and the meltdowns. You know what? He's in dead last, and we don't care. He's still making transactions. Quarterback, kicker. That's it. Nobody else. Oh, he started Tyreek Hill. Come on, Golls. I'll
See
put your lineup
that.
in for you. It's not like any of his. He's carrying 2 kickers. That's okay. Why would you even pay attention? He is, what do we say, 378 points behind. We're rooting for you, Jeff, to not be 400 out. But there really is. There's really only four. Let's call it 5 people with a legitimate shot. Although that's really a stretch for you and I being over 100, but we're not that
It
much
is.
over 100. But we
Hey,
know how this works.
we're both in the shop for some cash
Yes,
anyways.
and that's the goal. That's really the goal. I'm not going to root for you, some young guy. We just got confirmation that you exist. I ain't gonna start rooting for you now, cousin.
It-
Who isn't my cousin?
Jeff Galley will be arriving in Ellicottville on Friday, and so will I.
Oh,
So,
fantastic. So you guys, are you going to watch the game while we're at it?
oh, I don't know. We
Love
haven't
it.
discussed that.
And there's tickets for like $70 right now. And that
What
we've
time
only
is
been,
it 4:25 or is it a night game?
it's a 5 p.m. on the
Eight,
correct coast for you. You're
eight.
gonna have to get a little vodka Red Bull in you.
The Sunday night game.
How fantastic is this week going to be? We celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but not only that, we have football on Thursday, we have football on Saturday, on Sunday, and on Monday. Who says you can't worship, celebrate, and enjoy some goddamn football? This is America. We do whatever the fuck we want. It's been a really fun season with a lot of games during the week. There's been a couple of weeks this year where there've been games on 4 nights a week. I say every goddamn night. There's no
I
cap.
remember back in the day, late 80s maybe, Christmas at the Burrell house. And my sweet grandmother, Granny Lowry, was so mad at Coleman and me. Like, why, why is, why are they playing basketball on Christmas Day? We're like, Granny, it's Michael Jordan. Okay, deal with it. We're watching basketball right now.
He's
She
the
would
cl-
roll over in her grave knowing that there are 3 NFL games on Christmas Day.
And at the time, Jordan was the closest you can come to Jesus as a human male in his prime. Oh boy, it's going to be fun. I do believe Donnie's coming in on Thursday night. He's like, "Well, Brian, I just discovered that there is an airport that's very close to Glendale." I'm like, "That's the Bob Hope, baby. It's the greatest airport in the entire world. You can get to the Bob Airport a half hour before your flight, get through security, have time for a snack and a drink, and you're there, no problem." So he's going to stay at the Hilton, which is walking distance from me. Looks, there's rumors of going to Dave's. Oh boy, could be an all Christmas song slate. I hope it's dead because I got an 8 song night in me. Johnny, I haven't been there since late October. Actually, like 2 days
Oh,
after Halloween. I think they're worried about me. I got to show up and make an appearance. So hopefully, and then Tom says, "Well, we're getting in at 6. Give me the info on Dave's and we'll be there." I'm like, "Well, you better see how far it is from where you're staying." But I don't live near Inglewood. Although Inglewood, it's getting kind of nice. Kind of nice. Oh, but Johnny, 3 weeks left. 3 weeks of
3 weeks.
joy. Boy, we should do something. We should actually see if anybody's into doing it, some kind of playoff draft. Get a little Zoom, have a little Zoom drink, draft the players that are in, and throw a little cash in. See if we can't keep this gambling fix going because that's what it's about. It's about gambling and being better than your friends. You want to take a look at the a little bit of the update of the stats? I do believe, you know what?
Yes.
He says he didn't do anything, but in our league, 24 points. Josh Allen gets 24 points in his sleep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a great year.
Uh,
He is going to, is he going to get, he's definitely going to get to 400.
oh, he'll get to
400.
four. He's going to get to 400 against the Chargers.
Yes, he certainly, I do believe he will. Boy, that's going to be fun.
I
378
guarantee.
points. Boy, 400. I don't remember. I think Aaron Rodgers had 400 a couple of years back, and I don't remember anybody else other than maybe Mahomes with his really big year. Remember that one year, Patty,
Yeah.
when you used to be fantasy relevant?
I think Randall Cunningham might have had 400 for me back in the day.
Boy, is there any way we can go back and find out?
I'm kidding, but he did well.
He did great, but man, I wonder like how many did Jerry Rice had an unbelievable year. Who knows? Maybe we could actually try and find an archives if you could plug your scoring system into any era and just have it automatic. Let's get Chat GPT on
It's
that.
called, I
On
was just
whatever.
going to say, called Chat GPT.
Yeah, I don't trust it. I don't
My
trust
daughter
it.
this morning wanted to see pictures of the flooding across the river in Randolph. And I said, honey, I didn't see any on Facebook. She said, well, just type it in. She's 4.
You idiot. That's what she said. You dumbass. Oh my God. Jalen Hurts is the only other guy over 300.
Mm-hmm. But
42
and
points ahead or
I want
behind
you to
Josh
know
Allen.
my quarterback Matt Stafford is only 5 points away from Patrick Mahomes.
And he's missed a few games this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I cannot believe that
Uh,
Kirk Cousins almost has more points than Mahomes, and he hasn't played since he hasn't played in 2 years. It seems like that was so long ago. Let's talk about a major bust here. Look at Justin Fields all the way down here with 144 points. And that guy was taken, Johnny, was he taken in the with the sixth pick?
it's terrible. I mean,
Was
he's
it the
in
fifth
Chicago.
pick?
Chicago. That was a
Good
terrible pick.
Lord. I gotta
Chicago
check.
Bears are terrible.
By the way, here's something that you absolutely should be doing is you should be checking the weather. And right now, it looks like
Yes.
there's a major heat wave going through. I don't is any of this country going to have a white Christmas because it looks like Chicago is going to be warm. Buffalo is like
Ellicottville is. They got
48.
9 inch. They got 9 inches last night.
I'll give you 9 inches. Give it to you 3 times. Give me 9 inches and make it hurt. So I fucked her 3 times and punched her in the head. That's an old joke. Hey, go ahead, cancel us. We don't care. What are you gonna do? What are our 4 listeners gonna do with their lives if they don't have this magic? And God bless you for. God bless y'all. Susie, you're one of
Thank
them.
you.
I'm gonna give you a
Merry
big hug. I'm gonna
Christmas.
kiss you right on the lips in front of my brother. What are you gonna do? You're an old man now. We're all getting old. Johnny, what's going on? I look amazing
Uh,
though. Still holding on to the hair. I think I'm the last one in the family. Me and Gerald. Gerald's hair ain't going anywhere. That guy get a toupee. He's still dying his. Gerald, what are you doing? You're a senior citizen. Let it go. Johnny, let's take a look at the running backs because my Lord, Christian McCaffrey has 198 points. You hope for
he's
100.
definitely getting to 200.
Good googly moogly. He might be looking at 250. That
He
is a
could.
lot of points.
Can I say one thing though?
You can say you're
I
the
wanted.
co-host of the show. You can say
I
whatever you want.
yes. I wanted to look at this playoff picture.
Playoff
Um, Playoffs. If
for the NFL.
those Niners can clinch home field, can they do it this week? Because if they do, then
Oh, they'll
maybe
sit.
Purdy and McCaffrey can take a nap.
That's another thing to look at for your stupid head-to-head
Yes.
leagues in the championship. You could maybe not have McCaffrey, and I think that I might have to play the guy with McCaffrey. Oh, just give him some rest. I gotta
Nah,
really like.
Dallas is going to win. So San Francisco has only got a 1 game lead. So at best, as things stand right now, they're going to get arrested in the last week, which could help because here comes Debo. If Debo's sitting,
Let's take about Here Comes Debo, and we mocked him for the name, but boy, he's been coming all over the place, hasn't he, Johnny? 141 points for a wide receiver does not happen, but it happened when I think Debo had over 200 a couple years ago, and then he had a very,
I
very
had
down
him, I
year.
believe.
Yeah, you did, and there was talk about him being like Stanley was going to take him number one, but he said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor." God, Stanley. Stanley, you could fuck
uh,
up a cheese sandwich, Stanley. Let's take a look at just the last stretch for Debo. 18, 24, 42, 12, 0, 18. Unbelievable run. That's how you win a championship. Those are Danny Woodhead numbers when I made a late charge. Remember that, John? Oh my God, everybody was just so excited for that. I think he had like
he
a
went
50
six
burger.
weeks. No, he went 5 weeks. We'll cancel the bye. He went 5 weeks in a row with nothing.
Well, he was hurt for a few
That's
games.
yeah. That's
He did
just
not
an
play in
example.
2 games and he had a bye. So look, he got hurt in that Cleveland game.
He didn't play in 1 game. Didn't play
Unbelievable.
against Arizona,
He didn't play
and
against
then he
Minnesota
got
or Cincinnati. He has missed almost 3 games, including the one he got hurt. So he could have even more. But at
oh
his
yeah,
rate, he
yeah,
could end up with 200. He could end up with 200
yeah,
again. And
yeah.
well, somebody's going to jump on him in the first round, and he's going to have another shit year. And then the year after that, that's when I jump on him. I always like
Mhm.
taking guys that have crap years. So that means by that math, Patty Mahomes is going to go nuts.
Oh, you should get him.
I would not. I would not. I'm telling you right now, I would not draft him in the first 7 rounds. I would. I would not do it. I would not do it. We got 3 receivers over 100. Tyreek Hill's been there for a little bit. CD Lamb having a very good
Hmm.
year. Good pick for the Mansfield mob. I believe he took him in the second or third. And Mike Evans, gotta love it. All you dumbass pro analysts saying Mike Evans is done. You're done.
How
Who
about
is Jay
Jaden Reed,
Reed?
who I
Are you
just
kidding?
recently picked up?
86. Is he a rookie?
He is a rookie, and
Unbelievable.
his recent last few games is 9-18-0, 9-18-9.
Solid play. Corton Sutton having a big year with 87 points. And a rookie in
Yes.
Addison. Look at those two rookies right back to back.
Yep.
Addison with 81. DJ Moore finishing better off than I thought he would. Didn't I say I had the choice? I could have taken him or Taysom Hill. I think Taysom has 72. DJ Moore has 81, so he salvaged his season. And look at that, Diggs. I would have been thrilled to have him in the second round. He's down there with only 74 points.
Yeah, surprising. They've been spreading it around.
AJ Brown, who I considered taking in the second round, only 60 points. So he's not really lighting it up like we thought he would. He did much
And
better
Jamar with
last year.
63.
Yeah. And it looks like he might be out for a game or two. So anybody who's got Jamar, keep an eye on that injury status. I think he's going to be out. Boy, Austin Eckler, how about a bust? He only has 48 points for the year. Mixon, 63. Disappointing year. Josh Jacobs. Is he still on your team?
Django. Yeah, he
He's still
is. He is. Still there.
42 points. Oh, thank God I made that trade with you. It just kind of saved my interest. Saved my interest in this season.
Gave us something to talk about.
John
Let's give
Connor.
him something to talk about.
Talk about John Connor. There's another buster-oonie. He was slated for a bounce back injuries, but yeah, at a certain point, it becomes, a label. If you're injury proof, you're injury proof. He gets hurt every year. Only 30
Prone,
points.
prone.
Injury prone. Prone proof. Both starts with a P. I think there's an O in there. Cam Akers. Oh, that's right. He blew out his Achilles. What's the record for the amount of Achilles injuries in one season?
Oh, I think it's this year, without a doubt.
And by the way, I don't
Oh,
know, something's fishy with that because if they just announced that Aaron Rodgers will not be returning because the Jets are mathematically eliminated. Boy, how far are we from
oh,
that opening Monday night game? What a devastating way to start the season for the
we
Jets fans and for the Bills fans.
lost to the Jets. We lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, I can't understand that. Well, let's exact a little. Well, we're not going to look ahead. But these next two games, I wouldn't mind having a combined 100 points. Let's just go in. Let's just roll into the playoffs. Just scare the shit out of everybody. Just taking another look back at the running backs. We've got quite a few that have very, very strong potential of going over 100 this year. It's been actually a pretty good uptick for the running back position.
It
Just kind of
has.
not who we thought it was. I don't think anybody called Mostert or ETN having that kind of year. Rashid White for sure not.
Not Robinson either.
No, but look at that Derrick
Nobody
Henry.
heard of Williams.
Until further notice, this has been a horrible year for Derrick Henry. Has it? He has 84 points in our league.
Yeah.
He's very easily. He's probably going to have 100. They're going to be on my bench. I don't know. I got to go with the big
Rashad
player.
White.
Such a good year.
A chain. Those people weren't on radars. If we
No.
go back and look at when people were drafted.
And James Cook is not done, but 75 points. I would have been thrilled if you would have told me he was going to have that before the season started.
He might hit 100. They keep feeding him the rock.
And then this Jerick McKinnon, here's what I'm talking about, John. He has only scored in 4 games this year, but it's been
That's
24. He's only scored in 4 games. He did not play 2 because of injury, but he had 24, 18, 24, 6. You pick a player like that, you really got to have discipline or really just guess correctly. And talk about that. The ultimate, my Taysom. And this is the one thing. And how about we just we failed to mention that my brother had a pretty decent week. Not great, but it could have been a lot better. Sam Laporta. He scored 2 or 3 weeks in a row for my brother. Yeah, that was a good time to bench him. 24. He had 24 points.
79 for the year.
It's really incredible. He is a rookie, John, and that is an incredible amount for a rookie tight end to have in this league. And he passed my sweet boy Taysom Hill. Oh, Taysom. come on, baby. He's got 72 points. If Taysom ends up
Oh,
with
maybe
100, I
by
got a
my
chance.
five.
I got a chance. He just had
He
that one nice
scored.
stretch 12, 30, and 18 right in a row. And then
He
3
scored
weeks.
12 in the last 5 weeks.
Well, that's true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he had to buy that 1 week and he did not play against Carolina. So I'm really excited for the Thursday night game because I got Kyron Williams playing against the New Orleans Saints with Taysom Hill. In my other league, I also have Cooper Kupp. Ooh, boy. Like we said, if you're out, which odds are most of you are, and if anybody's listening to this, take your team from your regular league and just kind of take a look at this scoring system and see how many more points you might have had because it's totally different. It's
And see
totally
how much
different.
fun it would be to still be playing fantasy football right now.
Exactly. And playing with meaning and making transactions still with a chance to win $50. I bet there's a lot of people, John, they don't play with a very big kitty. They
Yeah.
do it because it's fun, which is
But
why
you
we do it.
don't need to be tickling your pickle right now. You could be playing fantasy football.
There's plenty of time to tickle that pickle, Johnny. I'm doing it right now. That's why the framing is the way it is. Johnny, I did put out a little
Less than a
not
minute. Less than
less
a
than a
minute.
minute. Oh, well, let's
Wrap it
wrap
up.
it up. Good luck in your semifinals. If you're out of it, check out our scoring system. Good luck to everybody. Stick with us. We got 3 more weeks left. For John Burrell, I'm Brian Dunkleman saying we'll see you next time on OG Fantasy Football. Go, Bill!